Socrates is an AI research assistant that analyzes any long document, so you can ask any question you want about the document and do all of your thorough research. Now I'm going to try this out and give you my honest review of this Socrates AppSumo lifetime deal. If you're wondering what are the best software you can use today to grow your business, I have my private Notion doc of my must-have SaaS tools for digital entrepreneurs, and you can grab free access to this Notion spreadsheet right now by clicking the link in my description. Now Socrates is back on AppSumo and it starts at $39 for license tier 1. The limits increase the higher up you go, and if you want unlimited OCR, you would need to get tier 2, and if you want the ability to share chats, you would need to get tier 3 or higher. Now Socrates is a web app, and there is also a Mac and also a Windows desktop version. The added benefit of using your computer's app is that not only do you get to use their cloud chat, but you also can use the local chat. So this will just use your computer only, and your files will not be stored on their servers, and no AI models will be trained. I'm going to try both the desktop version and the web app. Let's start with the web app, okay? So you can drag and drop local files right here. You can enter a public URL. Now this is specifically a PDF file URL. You can also add files from Dropbox and also Google Drive. Now let me upload a couple of files from my computer. Okay, so I'm gonna add these two PDFs. And in terms of the file types, they support PDFs, Word docs, EPUB files, text files, and more. So you can start with their general chat or with their deep dive feature. So deep dive processes documents section by section for unlimited context, enabling complete answers. Run once per chat to unlock Table AI and Flow AI. Let's do this standard start first. Okay, so now it is uploading and processing. Okay, so that took about a couple of minutes. So on the left-hand side, we have your sources here. And now we can basically chat with these sources. Now this is one of the PDFs that I uploaded. So what I want to do is ask a question and see if it can accurately pull the information from this PDF. So I want to ask about, so this is a content marketing KPIs guide, and I want to talk about or ask about time on page. And I want to ask, what are the two ways to look at time spent? So I'm going to add my question right here. What are the two ways to look at time spent? And let's see what it comes up with. Okay, and here we go. So a pretty thorough answer. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that there's this think part right here, which I don't think should be there. Now let's read their answer. So it says, from the context, I see that there are two main metrics discussed: time spent on page and average session duration. Now, if we open up our PDF, so time spent on page and average session duration or average time spent on site. So it did pull accurately, and it goes a little bit deeper too. So it says, putting this together, the two ways to look at time spent are time spent on page and average session duration, two ways to look at time spent, and also some important notes. And these are the sources right here. So it did pull from that single PDF. Now, if we click on the first one, it'll pull up the PDF on the left-hand side. So you could see here this yellow box. Let's take a look here. Give your visitors interesting content to click on, create viral content, promote your website. Not exactly sure if it's highlighting the correct part. The correct part should be this part, time spent on page. Now let's take a look at this second one right here. Okay, so average session duration. I think they did highlight this correctly. And then this third one here, it goes a little bit deeper into something along the lines of timestamps. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so it goes a little bit deeper into how Google Analytics tracks time on page. It's nice that they do add links at the bottom, but I wish they also included citations or sources inside the answer itself. And I don't really think this yellow box is all too accurate, right? It just kind of is placed at the top portion of every single page. So I'm not exactly sure how accurate this yellow box is. And if you highlight the text inside the PDF, you do have a few options. You can summarize, explain, or give it a custom instruction. So this highlighted text is about average session duration. It's basically an explanation of it. So let's try to maybe explain it so we have a much better understanding. Okay, here we go. So it's a pretty extensive answer. So you could see here it says think. So the AI is thinking, okay? And it says, I should break this down. First, what is a session? Now, how is a session duration calculated? Explanation of average session duration. So they give you a definition, the calculation, the tracking method, so on and so forth. So I think the answer is pretty decent. Now there are two links here. So if we click on this one, nothing happens. So I just believe it's this part. Now let's click on the second link and it goes here. And it's about how to optimize and improve average session duration. Again, I really wish they kind of added citations inside the answer itself. Now, I also wanted to ask a question and I wanted to pull from this second PDF, an SEO 101 guide. So I'm going to ask it, what two products did Google launch in 2006? And I want to see if it answers correctly, Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools. Okay, now let's see what it comes up with. Okay, here we go. So yep, it did pull from the PDF correctly. So Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools. And there are 3 links right here. So it did pull the correct page, but the actual yellow box isn't completely accurate. Let me click on this second link here. And then this is the third link. Same with the other PDF. It goes to more or less the right page, but at the same time, this yellow box seems kind of just always placed at the top of the page. But now, as you can see here, they do add links to the citation here, okay? So looking at the first context snippet, and then you could see this here. So if we click on that, it'll go here. And then if you go to this next paragraph, it says, so focusing back on this, the two products are clearly stated as Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools. Now, if we click on this orange icon right over here, you can save frequently used prompts as templates to save time. So you can create a new group. So maybe we can say something like SEO research. So this is our template group. We can click into that and then add a new template. Shorthand summary instruction. Please summarize these documents and tell me how they are related. And we can click on save. Now with shorthand, I don't know exactly how that shorthand really works, but let me exit out of that. And if I type in summary, nothing pops up. But if I click on the icon again, okay, so we can copy it or run it. So let me click on run. And so this is our prompt. Please summarize these documents and tell me how they are related. And here we go. Okay, so it says a relationship between documents. All 4 documents are sections of the same guide. They collectively cover various facets of SEO. So I only uploaded 2 documents, but it's mentioning 4 documents. Let's scroll up here. Summary of documents, SEO 101 guide. So there's basically like 2 duplicates here, or actually 4 duplicates of the SEO 101 guide. Not exactly sure why that is the case. Maybe because I have this up, but if I exit out of this and let me try that again. So I'm going to click on run. Now let's see if it comes up with a different answer here. Okay, so basically the same. So summary of documents, SEO 101 guide, it mentions it 4 times. So sometimes it does answer correctly, but when I ask it to summarize, it clearly didn't summarize it all too accurately because it didn't mention the content marketing KPIs PDF. Now, if we open up the PDF, I really do like how you can read the PDF on the left-hand side and ask your questions on the right. Now at the top, you can go to different pages. You can zoom in and out, view this full screen, download it, print it, and you can jump to the first page, rotate it, select text. There's different scrolling options. You can view a single page, dual page. I clicked on dual page, but nothing happened. Let's click on dual page with cover. And okay, so you can scroll to the left. I believe that's how it works. Let me continue scrolling. Okay, so this is the first page, and then you can view left and right. I get how that works now. Dual page. Okay, so yep, you can scroll left and right and back to this single page. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now I want to start the deep dive. Okay, so deep dive gives you more complete results. Most AI solutions miss details due to the model's limited context window. Deep dive solves this by stepping through documents section by section and aggregating the results, which gives the AI unlimited context. You only need to do this once per chat. Okay, so deep dive gives it unlimited context. Now, I think this works, or this could be very beneficial if you have tons of PDFs and they are really, really long. So I'm going to click on Start Deep Dive and let's wait for it to process. Okay, so it's been over 5 minutes and it's still stuck at 5%. Not exactly sure why. It could be a bug. It still says processing. Let me refresh the page and let's see what happens. Okay, so it's still 5% even when I refresh, and there's no way to cancel this. So I was in Flow AI, this is Table AI, so both of these require the deep research. And then this is Chat AI, so we did test out Chat AI, but for whatever reason, even if I refresh, it's still processing, so I can't use the Table AI or Flow AI features just yet. Now on the top right, you do see this share icon, so you can share this chat with anyone with the link, and you can also delete the chat if you want to. Okay, and also what you can see here, so it kind of reset. So now I could click on Start Deep Dive. Okay, so processed content marketing KPIs. So it processed this PDF. So it says click to restart the deep dive. So not exactly sure what the issue is. Let me click on Start Deep Dive. Okay, so it's processing again. So let's give this a few more minutes, see if this actually does work. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes and still at 5%. So I feel like this is a bug, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the desktop app. Okay, so with the desktop app, you could do local chat or the same as the web app, which is the cloud chat. So you can upload the exact same way via local chat, and both the web and desktop are both synced, as you can see here. This is my chat on the left-hand side, and it does pull from my previous chat history. And you could see, okay, so now it says deep dive enabled. Okay, so I think you had to wait, a good over 5 minutes, over 10 minutes to have it review my 2 documents. So deep dive enabled on the desktop app. Now on web, it also says deep dive enabled, which is good. Let's just use the desktop app. So now we can access the Table AI and also the Flow AI. So with Table AI, we can analyze information in this table format. Now, do I have any templates here? Okay, no templates that are related to the Table AI itself. I can give it a new instruction, add an instruction, so column name. So maybe I can say something like short summary and instruction, provide a 1-sentence summary. Click on apply. And this is our new column, short summary. And I believe it is going to provide us with a short summary for both of these files. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I don't think these are too short. These are quite long summaries, and it still shows you the think there, which I don't believe is should be there. So it says, all right, I need to figure out how to answer the user's question based on the provided context. So one thing I don't like is that you can read its thinking process, its thought process. I just want the actual answer, right? So let's see here. First, looking at the context, it's the table of contents. Context 2 is about the first chapter. Context 3 is the second chapter. So the summary isn't all that great. Let's take a look at this second PDF. So it also shows you the thinking process, looking at the context. Now let's click on these citations and, okay, so chapter 5, how to build a content marketing workflow. You can exit that preview. Chapter 5, let's click on this one here. Chapter 5. it's not too helpful for me. Looking at the context, 3 and 4 both mention chapter 5. 3 talks about influencer mentions. Let's click on 3. Yeah, nothing about influencer mentions. So the actual response, I don't think is all too accurate, at least from what I am reading here. Okay, now I'm actually getting it. So this is the actual answer. This very last part is the answer. So you see this opening and closing think. So this is what it's thinking. And then this is the answer. Okay, so yeah, I feel like they really should remove this thinking part and just provide me with the answer. So chapter 5 discusses strategies like influencer engagement, so on and so forth. Let's look at this first one. This document provides a comprehensive overview of SEO. So yeah, kind of strange how they show you the thinking part. Let me click on the actual citation links. And the citation links aren't really all too helpful, unfortunately for me. So that's how the table AI works. And then you can also create a new column as well. Now for flow AI, we can add a quick flow. And there's 4 different options here: summary, key takeaways, questions raised, new ideas. Let's click on key takeaways, save it. And this is our quick loop for key takeaways. So this is the source. We need to select a file. Let's do SEO 101 guide. Prompt loop is on or off. So the prompt loop allows us to split the document by paragraph, section, or chapter. So let's say maybe section. Limit focus areas, so you can actually limit the focus areas. Leave everything unselected to apply prompts to all sections. Select specific sections to only apply prompts on those sections. So I think that's pretty neat. You can have it analyze only parts of your document. Now, if we click on paragraph, limit focus areas, so we can limit focus areas on a per paragraph basis. But just looking at this list here, it's pretty difficult to kind of gauge what you want it to analyze and not, right? Like log file data, consumer tracking information, external link metrics. It's really hard to determine what to select, right? If you don't really know the document. So not exactly sure how this is helpful. Maybe the section is helpful and the chapter for sure is much more helpful because you can see at a high level what chapters there are. There are some errors here, like this span ID, 20 years of SEO. So I don't think this should read like this. So I can see the helpfulness of it, but at the same time, they do need to kind of improve how this view is like. But I'm just going to turn the prompt loop off. And for the LLM, this is the prompt. And then we can click here and select a template and the output node. So in a markdown or table dive is coming soon. So we can only have a markdown output, which is fine. And let's see if we can click on a new source node. So we can select the content marketing KPI. And for the sake of this review, let's turn on the prompt loop and limit focus areas by chapter. And let's just have the AI analyze on page or time on page, unique visitors, conversion rate, chapter 4, chapter 5. Okay, save. Okay, 5 focus areas selected. And then it's going to this LLM. And then when it comes to the LLM, you do have a couple of options here. You can do the DeepSeek R1 or connect your Open Router API key, which allows you to use a variety of other LLMs. Okay, so nice that they do have Open Router, but they do have DeepSeek R1, which I think is perfectly fine. So it's going to be the DeepSeek R1 LLM, and then the output node, it's going to be Markdown, okay? Okay, now let's click on New Run. Okay, so we can see this table here, the status, I believe it's still loading, the date when it's created, and the LLM node prompt provide a list of key takeaways from the input, okay? So it looks like it is done. I'm going to click into that and provide a list of key takeaways. So time on page, this is the chapter, and then it also shows you the thinking process, which I don't want. Where is the end of the thinking? First, I need to break down bounce rate. I don't know when the thinking ends. So it's hard to know the exact answer. Oh, got it. It's right here, the end of the thinking. So this is the answer, key takeaways. And they listed 6 total key takeaways and optimization strategies, unique visitors. It ends the thinking. So yeah, they really need to remove this thinking portion out and just show me the actual answers, okay? So just looking at this, it's nice, but at the same time, I wonder what document this is. I know it is the content marketing document, but I really wish it would kind of tell me like the source of what it's analyzing. Let's click on Flow Build, Results. Let me click into the results again. So what about the SEO 101 document? Not exactly sure, right? So, and I can't really zoom out as well. I just need to scroll up and down. So not exactly sure how this is really helpful in my specific case. So now we see here segments 5 out of 50. And I think it's because we did select 5 focus areas. I wonder if we click on source 1 and click on new run, let's see if that changes anything. Okay, I can see the segments jumped up to 10 out of 50. And okay, so this is the first one. Oops, let's go back to results. Okay, so this is the second row and it's the same, right? Time on page, conversion rates. Let's go back to result or flow build, results. Let's click here, time on page. It seems like it's the same, more or less the same response. Now, if I click on this X, it goes back here. I really wish Socrates provided me with like a title for each of these rows, because right now it basically looks duplicate. So I don't know exactly what each one is about really, right? So I don't think this Flow AI is too helpful at this point. Table AI, I think, is more helpful, but I really wish they removed this thinking part and just gave me the actual answer. And also when it comes to the LLMs, so when you use your desktop app, you do have these local models, okay? So I did have to choose this when I set up the desktop app. So you have a handful of options here, DeepSeek R1, Meta, Qwen as well, and you do need to download these models into your computer. And you also need to select an embed model, and I selected the English one. So you do need to set up these 2 options here when you download the desktop app. So overall, I really like the UI UX of Socrates for the most part. The only UX part I dislike is in the Flow AI and also the Table AI. But the Chat AI is easy to use. It looks nice as well. The answers are okay. I don't like how they show us the thinking part. It really confused me. And just looking back at the history, it showed us the thinking part for all of the responses, okay? So I really don't like that. But the actual answers themselves are, I would say, satisfactory. Now, in this AI research space, there are tons of other competitors like Notebook LM, Icky AI. There's also Paper Guide and also Logically as well. So if you don't have any of those tools, then you can consider Socrates. The price actually is on the more affordable side. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But if you have those other tools, then I would probably skip on Socrates. If you don't have an AI research assistant and you want to dip your toes into this space, I think Socrates is a very affordable option for you, a great tool to get started in this whole AI research process to help you analyze documents, help you with your research, maybe your coursework, homework, things like that.